Good evening, everyone. Thanks a lot for joining us for yet another digital CNN News 18 digital exclusive. I'm joined by Kavita Ashok, environmentalist and health expert. And today we're going to discuss just why year after year we continue to witness such apathy when it comes to our rivers in the national capital. And obviously, we're talking about the Yamuna and the toxic foam that is visible and is a matter of concern every year. Obviously, none of us can say that this is a new phenomenon. This is something that has been progressively getting worse as far as the national capital is concerned. So, Kavita ji, I want to begin by asking you. This is something that environmentalists in the national capital, the governments, successive governments have talked about. But has enough been done on this? The visuals that we have seen earlier today and the pictures from the Yamuna clearly show that enough has not been done.
Yeah, rightly said, Shivani, because the Yamuna restoration plan has been going on for so many years, and crores of rupees have been given for funding of the plan.
Mm.
And it's really, really sad because every year, I visit the Yamuna at this time during Chhath time, and I'm so unhappy to see that the scenario remains the same because there is so much of froth, there is so much of plastic pollution in the rivers, there is industrial waste, and obviously people who are going there for their rituals of Chhat are very unhappy too, because I was listening to some people in the morning who were saying we have to come and take a holy dip because it's their religious ritual. But it's
Mm.
sad that we can't blame one day of Chhat Puja to the whole pollution. Let me be very clear.
Absolutely.
Besides being an environmentalist, I stand by for the citizens of this country, because see, if you're depriving people of a particular ritual, let them do it. It's a secular country. But why can't we address the problem of water pollution, the polluting of our rivers throughout the year? We have enough funds, we have the political will. So where are we lagging behind?
So, what is the issue exactly? Why is the Yamuna so polluted? And what needs to be done to tackle this? Because this is obviously not a seasonal issue.
Definitely, it's not seasonal. It's a perennial issue, and we have to address it throughout the year. I think the first responsibility lies with the chief ministers of the states. See, Yamuna is not a river which only flows in Delhi. It
Hmm.
is coming, it is flowing through different states. And if you see, the closest to us is Uttar Pradesh. And from there, if you see, there are many factories, many chemical plants, many leather tanneries, because from all that, the industrial waste is flowing to Delhi side from with the river. So we just can't
Hmm.
blame that it's a one state problem. Like air pollution is not a one state problem. Similarly, the toxicity of the water in Yamuna is not a one state problem. So we have to address the neighboring states. We have to address it from the root. So I think Arvind Kejriwal ji has to address it from his territorial point of view. And wherever the Yamuna is coming from, whether it's crossing industrial areas, whether it's crossing people dumping dead bodies, and the industrial even the waste from the extra things from plastics, and dumping garbage. There are a lot of problems. See, in any case, Yamuna water is used for drinking in Delhi. Let's not forget. So,
Hmm.
as an health
Hmm.
activist, I feel it is so toxic for the people of Delhi to get these water into their taps. We are
Hmm.
actually
So,
attacking the health of the people.
is the biggest issue industries then? And why is it that we can't come together? There are several cities in the world that whose model can be looked at when it comes to keeping your rivers clean. Is the biggest issue industry first of all, and how to tackle that?
See, look at the adventurous policies and plans that our environment ministry has been, following or started. Look at the one plan of one project of Namami Gange, right? Lot of effort has been done to cleanse the river Yamuna. And at certain points, if you see, I've also been to Haridwar and Rishikesh lately, and I have seen the river is very clean at those particular points of time. But by the time it reaches Delhi, again the same, I mean the lower plains, again the same things happen. Similarly, is the case with Yamuna. It is cleaner at the top, and in where it originates, and when by the time it reaches the plains, it becomes dirty. So I think all the rivers which are, all the cities which are based on the banks of the river Yamuna have to address their municipals, and their the cleanliness drive have to be proper. I think the local authorities also have to address this issue. It's not just the chief minister we can hold responsible.
Hmm. Now, you mentioned that there's no lack of funding. So, would you say that the lack is really in identifying the problem and having the will to do it?
Problem is identified, Shivani, because problem, everyone knows what the problem is. Where are the, what are the industrial areas which are
Hmm.
polluting? What is the chemical waste coming? Where is the plastic waste coming from? What is happening? I mean, where are people, as I would say, destroying the sanctity of the river? Because see, in India, rivers are not just a matter of water for us. We also
Hmm.
worship them. So there are so many sentiments attached to it. They could be
No,
cleanliness,
I
it
was
could be
mentioning this.
spiritual.
I was
Yeah,
mentioning this earlier that, in a country like India, it's not enough to say that, don't perform your rituals. We are a very holy, public, and these
yes,
are part of our rights. The government needs to provide for this in a controlled fashion. Nobody is saying that you can do it in an uncontrolled fashion. So citizens have to
absolutely.
play their part. But my point was that there is a lack of political will because there's no lack of funding. There are no lack of solutions. Innovative solutions can be worked out. But the onus is put on citizens, not so much the industry, which is the biggest polluter.
Absolutely right. Because see, today morning, I've heard people at the banks of Yamuna saying that ki hum kahan jaएं? We have our Chhath
Mm,
Puja. Where should we go? And there was very, very strong women on the banks who were saying, why should we not have the facility one day in the year to perform
in
our
the year.
pujas? And I did not know what to say because I think they were right in their own way. Besides being an environmentalist and understanding the health hazards of polluted water, I could not argue with them because I had no stand, besides saying that river is getting dirty, don't put. But what they are saying is, ma'am, it's not a matter of one day. Why don't you look after all these environmental challenges throughout the year? So I have no answer because I'm not with the government body. I think the government body has to be answerable. If there is political will, let it show now. If they have to show the
Mhm.
political. Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kavita ji. I appreciate you joining us and really highlighting this issue. The solutions are there. Many cities in the world have faced all sorts of challenges, but they come up with solutions which works for the country and which is local. It works for the natives. It works for those particular challenges. We are not facing a challenge which is insurmountable. These are really issues that most countries have dealt with in the 20th century. And if Delhi has to become London or Singapore, the first thing it needs to do is have a Yamuna bank, which is actually beautiful, and a Yamuna that is beautiful. Thank you, Kavita
Yes,
ji, for joining
absolutely.
us. Let's hope that the
Fine.
visuals this time around spur the governments all concerned into some action.
Thank you. Yes.